Just wait for that to come on, to start up.
Takes a second.
Yes.
Yes, it's started
Right.
now.
Okay. Thank you very much for your patience and for waiting. We are now returning to the public session in respect of the application for the review of a premise licence for Oxford Food and Wine, Oxford Road, Reading. I just want to confirm for the record that the 3 councillors that make up the membership of the subcommittee were present via video conferencing throughout our deliberations in private. The solicitor, Wendy Battison, and the committee services officer, Julie Cornby, were also present, but did not take part in this making of this decision. The subcommittee has considered the application for the review of a premise licence in respect of Oxford Food and Wine, Oxford Road, Reading, and made the following decision. In considering the written and oral representations, the subcommittee considered the importance of the licensing objectives, the conditions put forward by RBC licensing team, and Thames Valley police request for a revocation of the licence. The licensing subcommittee considered what they had heard and how appropriate and proportionate the conditions put forward by RBC were to promoting the licensing objectives as opposed to a complete revocation of the licence. They also considered Reading Borough Council's statement of licensing policy and the statutory guidance made under the Licensing Act 2003 as stated above. The licensing subcommittee found that the issues caused within the vicinity of the premises, as set out in the papers, showed there were levels generally of crime and disorder within the area. There was sufficient evidence of failings under the licensing objectives to warrant revocation of the licence. The subcommittee considered a tightening of the conditions could improve the situation at the premises, but considered from what they had read and heard that they had no confidence in Mr. Sanaya to actually comply with what he was required to do. He had known it was wrong to purchase stolen alcohol, yet continued to do so on 84 occasions, not 16, as each bottle was considered an occasion. The subcommittee found there had been management failings and breaches of conditions on behalf of the premise licence holder, and although this had resulted in compliance with those conditions, this was always after the event. The subcommittee considered the premise licence holder had a responsibility under the licensing objectives to not undermine the licensing objectives, and the wrongdoing of receiving stolen alcohol and selling it on was not upholding the licensing objectives. The subcommittee had no confidence on the premise licence holder to uphold the licensing objectives, as he had purchased stolen alcohol because it was cheap, without any consideration of the impact on other businesses or indeed within the area in fueling crime and disorder for drug users. The licence subcommittee did not consider he would in fact fulfil the licensing conditions if applied, or generally worked with the licensing authorities or police to fulfil his obligations. His controlling influence in the business would hamper compliance, and he had not shown he had complied with the conditions of his caution in sending a written apology to Marks and Spencer's or complying with the fire risk assessment requirements. So therefore, his licence is revocated. Please note there is the right to appeal against the decision to the Magistrates' Court. Thank you everyone for attending for the considerations of this application. Can the recording now be stopped?
Thank you very much, Madam.
And please, will everybody take care, keep safe and look after yourselves. Thank you.
Same to you. Same to you.
Very
Chair.
much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.